Because every day above ground is a good day. Some are just more questionable than others. Questionable call, Wednesday edition, 7 on the board, and we roll immediately. Dallas Cowboy quarterback Dak Prescott talking about why he was in a walking boot and also talking about contract negotiations. What I want you to do is watch closely to his body language, his shoulder, his right shoulder. Watch for the bounce when he talks about why he was in a walking boot. Take a look at this.
Yeah, I'm great. Honestly, I'm getting older. It's the same ankle, right, that I snapped and had a nasty surgery on 4 years ago. So, yeah, a couple of hard days of training, and you get a little sore, and then you're going on a fishing trip, and you want to protect it and make sure that things don't get worse. So, literally, it's absolutely nothing. That's why I said people are reaching, trying to make things that they aren't. I'm getting older. Have to take care of my body. Have to be smart. And if I can take precautions and lessening something by putting on a boot, I'm going to do it. And so
there's a bounce.
Sorry that it caused such a whirlwind.
Yeah, there's Dak, and you can tell from his body language, if you know a little something about the shoulder bounce, he may not be telling you everything there is to know. Meanwhile, Dak previously talking about where he is with his contract negotiations. Take a look at this.
Deal done by the start of the season?
Not sure.
Honestly, I'm focused on the moment, on the now. If the talks begin and real talks get to happen, sure, we can talk about getting that done. But in this case right now, honestly, I'm worried about just getting better, being better tomorrow than I am at this moment. So leaving that up to my agent and Jerry at this point. And when those talks begin, I'll be more involved, obviously. So.
And you saw the pause before he answered. The question is on the board. Question. Dak was being less honest where? On the walking boot or on his contract extension? I know a little something about body language and about deception and deceit detection when people are lying. The shoulder bounce is troubling. I kind of made my name when Drew Brees had played his last game in the NFL and was asked about his future in postgame. And his right shoulder was bouncing because he wasn't telling the truth and because he wasn't comfortable. And I called it out on the radio the next day. Sure enough, I was right. It was his last game after all. Dak Prescott is not telling you the absolute truth about the walking boot. He's also protesting doth too much, as Shakespeare wrote, which is always a tell that somebody is hiding or concealing something. Meanwhile, you saw the discomfort talking about having to answer on the contract negotiation. He knows more about the negotiation. He's letting us know more about the fact that he doesn't know than the fact that he's withholding the information on the walking boot. Dak Prescott is not telling the truth. He is not sharing with us why he was wearing the walking boot. He doesn't want a story. He also doesn't want to affect his money. But what you saw was a man over-explaining and becoming defensive while also giving us body language indicators that he was not telling the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. What is wrong with his ankle? I don't know. All I know is he doesn't want us to know. Let's continue on in the countdown up to number 6. And it comes to us from Mike Gundy, football coach, Oklahoma State University, talking about Ollie Gordon, the star running back, who got a DUI charge and was not punished by the team. Listen closely to what head coach Mike Gundy said about drinking and driving. Look.
So I looked it up on my phone. What would be the legal limit? Like in Oklahoma is .08, and Ollie was .1. So I looked it up, and it was based on body weight.
Oh boy.
Not to get into the legal side of it, but I thought really 2 or 3 beers or 4. I'm not justifying what Ollie did. I'm telling you what decision I made. Well, I thought I've probably done that 1,000 times in my life.
Wow.
And I, it's just fine. So I got lucky. People get lucky.
People do get lucky. Mike Gundy, let's see if you get lucky with this. Questions on the board. Question, was Gundy wrong to say this? There is a difference between being wrong and being wrong to say it. Mike Gundy's telling the truth. He got lucky 1,000 times, drinking and driving, not getting caught. He's explaining that for Ollie, not necessarily the case. What he is attempting to do is say to you, I'm not perfect, he's not perfect, most of us have made this mistake. He just happened to get caught when we didn't. But should he be saying it? Probably not, because then it becomes fodder on shows like this. Because then it becomes a topic of whether or not he's trying to justify what the law should be, or in some way making it seem as though, what's the big deal? It's a couple of beers, we've all been. He's not saying it's okay to do. What he's saying is, I did it, you've done it, we've all done it. It's not okay. And in his case, he didn't get away with it like we did. Gundy was not wrong in what he was saying. It's just wrong to say it. We roll on in the countdown to number 5, presented by St. Lucie Battery and Tire. The home of honest, reliable service since 1970. Total Car Care Center. Go to slbt.com, 18 locations, South Florida. What if your wife is having a baby and she has a bet she has to pay off? And she has to wear one of those Chewbacca masks that when you move your jaw, it makes the Chewbacca sound effect while she's in labor to give birth to your baby. I know it sounds crazy. It looks even crazier. Take a look and listen to this. How do you not laugh at that? Unbelievable. Questions on the board. Question, is this hilarious or is it horrible to do to a woman in labor in horrible pain? Can it be kind of both? This is not horrible. She's paying off a bet. She's a good sport. Listen, if it becomes unbearable, take the mask off. It is not in any way enabling her ability to breathe or to focus. But if it does, it's a little more important than paying off the bet, obviously. With that said, a woman who is in pain and who's crying out, but instead what you hear is the sound of Chewbacca, that's absolutely hilarious. Get out of here with that. Hilarious. We continue on to the countdown. All the way to number 4, presented by Anna Jar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Take back control of your life. The former president, Donald Trump, back at it again, calling out Joe Biden, challenging him to what? Take a look.
I'm also officially challenging Cricket Joe to an 18-hole golf match right here.
Oh, boy. At Durrell.
On Doral Blue Monster, considered one of the greatest tournament golf courses anywhere in the world, one of the great courses of the world. It will be among the most watched sporting events in history, maybe bigger than the Ryder Cup or even the Masters.
He said maybe bigger than the Masters, and people, us were like, I'm not so sure, but like they couldn't even cheer for that. Listen to the bet, however. Here's the former president trying to become the next president, wanting to make a bet with the current president on a game of golf. Watch what he says.
And I will even give Joe Biden 10 strokes aside. 10 strokes, that's a lot.
Wow.
That means 20 strokes in case you don't play golf. I will give him 10 strokes aside, and if he wins, I will give the charity of his choice, any charity that he wants, $1 million.
Wow. Now they're cheering.
And I'll bet you he doesn't take the offer.
All right, the question's on the board. Question, if we were to bet it, are you taking Trump minus 20 strokes or Joe Biden plus the 20 strokes? I would take Donald Trump minus the 20 strokes. He plays. He owns the course. He is a little younger. He's a lot more mobile. Joe Biden's not moving that great these days. I don't know how well he does in 18 holes of golf, but I'll give Donald Trump the nod at minus 20 strokes. And by the way, TBS, TNT, this is your next match. Forget about trying to get Rory and Tiger and football players and Clay and Steph Curry. Make it Trump versus Biden, and you will have the biggest ratings in the history of the match. Like the video, subscribe. Let's continue on. We're almost halfway through. Actually, and then some. To number 3, Christian McCaffrey. The 49ers got married this weekend. The team all came out to dance and party, and so did his mom. Take a look at Mrs. McCaffrey, the mother. She is getting it a little bit on the dance floor. Take a look. Oh, yeah. That's a boss, I think, right? Now watch here, because it's a spotlight dance. Go ahead, Mom. Go ahead, Mom. Oh, 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 oh. Meanwhile, those white people don't know the words to September. Shocker. She looks good, by the way. To have an all-pro son in the NFL, fantastic. Questions on the board. Question, is this just funny or is this legit fierce? She was legit fierce. She can actually dance. They're not like laughing and cheering for her, mocking her like somebody who's very old or very bad or very, very young. She can actually dance. And she got caught in the moment. You saw a little hair flip? Little what that was about? She was living her best life. Go ahead, Mom. Get you some. Legit fierce is the correct answer. Just like that, to number 2 in the countdown. On this Wednesday edition, presented by Celsius, Essential Energy, Live Fit, Oasis Vibe, back in the saddle again. Get you some Celsius anywhere and everywhere and live fit. Novak Jovic advancing now, once again, to the semifinals at Wimbledon. He didn't like playing against my boy Olga Rune because the crowd is saying Rune. You know, they always do that. A player moves. Anytime they can make a sound that almost sounds like a boo, the crowd likes to do that for the individual. The whole match, they were saying Rune, but Novak Jovic took exception to that. He said these people were booing me. Take a look.
And to all those people that have chosen to disrespect the player, in this case me, have a good night.
And they're booing there.
Good night, good night. Very good night. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, a little sensitive to the rune and the sound of the boo, which he knows people were kind of disguising. Now Novak Jovic is going to lecture the crowd. Listen to what he said here.
I'm hoping that they were just commenting on Runa and that they weren't disrespecting you.
They were. I don't accept it. No.
Wow.
I know they were cheering for Rune, but that's an excuse to also boo. Listen. I've been on the tour for more than 20 years, so trust me, I know all the tricks. I know how it works. It's fine, it's okay. I focus on the respectful people that have respect, that pay the ticket to come and watch tonight.
There you go. Get the crowd back in it. Get them back in
tennis. And love tennis and appreciate the players and the effort that the players put in here.
There was still a segment of the crowd then that were like, Rune. They were still doing the Olger thing to try and piss him off. Meanwhile, the last thing that he said to the crowd may be the most fascinating. All of a sudden, Novak Jovic turns into MC Hammer circa 1990. Look at this.
I played in much more hostile environment, trust me. You guys can't touch me.
Oh, walk it off. You guys can't touch me. Questions on the board. Question, is Jovic wrong, though? Is he wrong? Yes or no? Remember earlier what I said about Mike Gundy, where it can be what you're saying is right, but maybe not right to say it? Novak Jovic is not wrong. They are saying Rune, and they want it to sound like boo. And some people are disguising the boos. He's the bad guy. He's the villain. He's the one that lied about his vaccination status. He's the one that hit the ball person, or the line judge, rather, at the U.S. Open with the ball out of anger, accidentally, and got disqualified. He's not wrong with what he's saying about what the people are doing. It's just, is it necessary to say it? Is it necessary to share it? Or can you just, I don't know, quietly advance on and maybe rebuild your reputation and your brand with the public perception? He's not wrong, though. No, he's not. And just like that, we're all the way to the finish at number one. And it comes to us from Major League Baseball, a 3-leg parlay. Somebody betting $1,111 trying to make themselves $175,000. Take a look at what the parlay was. Here's a tweet, by the way, from BR Betting. Shout out BR Betting and Bleacher Report. $175,000 riding on a Cal Raleigh homer tonight, meaning the first 2 legs already cashed. The first 2 players already hit their home runs. So if Cal Raleigh were to hit a home run in the late game starting at 10:10 Eastern Time, that $1,111 was going to pay $175,000. Take a closer look at that real quick, just so you can see what's up. Jordan Westberg, dinger at plus 600. Trey Turner, dinger, hit it at plus 400. The cash out on that was almost $5,000. And what that means is, right there you can hit the button and you can say, I don't want to risk it anymore. I'll take my $1,111 back, and you're going to give me almost $1,000 in profit. Thank you very much. Take a look, however, at what happened when the aforementioned Cal Raleigh came to the plate in Seattle. Look at this. Here's the pitch. There it is. Doesn't look like he got too much of it. But the outfir's going back. And it's gone easily. It's gone. And that dude just made $175,000. The question is on the board. Question, letting it ride. Was it a good call or was it a bad call? Do not confuse in life what is right with what works and what is wrong and what succeeds and or fails. What I'm saying is we don't play the result in life. Kenny the Jet used to talk about Dean Smith at North Carolina saying, Kenny, I will never yell at you for missing a good shot, but I will always yell at you for making a bad one. The right play here to do is cash it out, dude. I mean, it's $25,000 off $1,100 at risk. With that said, you saw how it played out. Meanwhile, I did a little homework on what the payout should have been. The cash out option at $24,008, what it really should be for a parlay at $1,100 for 600 plus 400 is $37,000. So the casino was willing to give him literally a third less of what it is he deserved. I'm glad the dude won. But with that said, man, hard to fall asleep that night knowing you could add 25 grand if you just hit the cash out button. But good for you, brother. Get paid. And there you have it. Hit like, hit subscribe. And remember, kids, while every day above ground is a good day, some are just more questionable than others. Second night to the bad guy. We'll see you Friday.